Happy holidays to you.
You guys too.
Thank you.
A difficult situation for Kenny. How do you think he persevered and held up in the game?
Yeah, I thought Kenny responded really well as far as just hopping in there. I thought just the way he handled the first drive that he hopped in there. I mean, it was a 3rd and 7 and converted, resulted in a touchdown that drive. I certainly did a lot of good things in the game. Ultimately, we all collectively didn't do enough to finish that game, and so I think it's an awesome opportunity for us to all learn and grow from. But I thought Kenny battled the whole entire way.
After the game in the running game, the last 3 quarters.
Thought they just did a really good job of stopping us. We were chasing some runs that we felt like we were close on, and we just ultimately never got the explosive opportunities that we were shooting for. And so they did a really good job. They with their pressure plan and kind of eating things up, and we just weren't able to get the explosives that we had. I thought we had some really good ones in the first quarter, and it kind of progressed from there, and we just weren't able to get it done.
Kenny said after the game that he had to go to the receivers, I guess AJ and Devontae specifically. There was some sort of communication thing that only Jalen knew with them that he didn't know about. What exactly was he referring to, and why didn't he know about it?
I'm not sure the context of that one. I'd have to ask Kenny, but sometimes during the week there's a lot of nuances. A lot of the core communication stuff goes on, but naturally sometimes there's little nuances throughout a game plan that maybe little adjustments that Jalen and those guys can make that probably Kenny's just making sure everyone's on the same page. And for the most part, I think our guys do an excellent job from a communication standpoint. But certainly starting quarterbacks are going to have little adjustments throughout the weeks, and just trying to make sure we're all tied together.
How does the pre-snap protection stuff change when Kenny comes in? Does Cam take on a bigger role, or does Kenny just do what Jalen does?
So similar plan, same plan.
This has to be an interesting week for you with uncertainty about the quarterbacks. How do you handle that in terms of preparation standpoint?
Our guys do a great job. Just everyone's preparing to be ready to go, and we'll make the adjustments as the week progresses. And I think from a game plan perspective, we'll do a good job of having contingencies within those plans to allow ourselves to make the necessary adjustments based off who's on the field. And we've done this at other weeks with offensive linemen, with receivers, when we don't know whether a receiver's going to be available or not. And so, similar to those situations, you just got to have a plan that's flexible, pending how things play out.
Understand? Is it like siloed where you have here's one if Jalen and here's one if it's Kenny, or how does it work?
I don't think it's that divided. I think it's just certain plays, are probably going to be a little bit more advantageous for certain players, and so I think just having the flexibility, no different than when we've gone into games with AJ and Smitty, and maybe they're a late decision, or offensive linemen, running backs, everyone. Obviously the quarterback position gets magnified because of that position, but it's something that obviously we deal with throughout the year.
How do you deal with players who maybe because of the protocol, which is out of your control, don't have a lot of on-field prep? Are you comfortable because of a veteran player playing them with little preparation time?
Yeah, obviously the protocol's in place for a reason, and so you just kind of let that play itself out, and everyone does the best they can within the confines of that protocol to prepare yourself as if you're ready to go on Sunday. And if things adjust, they adjust. But we've had a number of guys do this, over the course certainly this year. But everyone's in these similar situations, and I think at this point, there's a lot of you're making adjustments in game plans, but obviously there's not huge, complete overhauls week in and week out. There's a lot of times it's adjustments and different presentations and flavors, and so it's just getting the awareness to those things.
Specifically with a quarterback, though, is it how much more of a challenge is it, if he doesn't have a lot of time on the practice field but is ready to play by Sunday?
Reps are always valuable. You're always going to lean on anytime we can invest in reps and experience. Those are huge advantages, and so we understand these things happen, and so I think our guys know how to adjust and handle these situations, and we'll be ready to make the whatever comes out of it.
How do you
used to be a backup quarterback? Do you feel romantic at all about when a backup quarterback goes into the game and has a chance to do stuff?
Romantic. I think the unique aspect of backup quarterbacks in this league is truly you have to prepare like the starter, and you never know when your opportunity is going to present itself. And when they present themselves, sometimes they can be challenging circumstances, unique circumstances, but when it's your opportunity, you got to go. And I thought Kenny did a nice job responding. I thought it was so cool to see our guys have the confidence in him to just hop in there and handle a third down, handle another completion, throw a third down touchdown in the red zone. I thought that was a really cool moment to see him hop in there and those guys, feed into that.
What's your analysis of the Wildcat play sort of after the fact?
The Wildcat play.
In the game down by the goal line with Saquon.
Yeah, we were trying to, give ourselves an opportunity potentially to get them into a look where, see if they can take the bait and see if we can get the throw opportunity for Saquon. I've repped it a number of times, and obviously they kind of sniffed it out, and we're still covering Smitty in the back corner.
How do you think Tanner's progressed? Kenny was banged up as well. How do you think he's progressed if he's needed?
Tanner's done an excellent job. I think, we feel very fortunate the room that we have this year going into it with, obviously Jalen, Kenny, Tanner. That's a really, really good group, and, we feel very fortunate to have all three of those guys.
Is it hard to track a guy's progress over the course of the season when he's not getting that many practice reps?
I think we do a good job. I think, the quarterback plan with those backup guys, I think they do a good job of both guys get reps throughout the week from a scout team perspective. And then we always try and find little bits and opportunities on Fridays where maybe they can run the game plan plays, and play offense versus defense in somewhat of a competitive environment. And so those guys are always finding every possible way to prepare themselves. And, I think our schedule lends to it. I think Nick does an awesome job with that. And so, Tanner's done an excellent job, and, he'll be ready based off those circumstances.
Go in on Sunday. Who's the emergency?
There's certainly emergencies to emergencies. There's certain guys that we've had discussions, and they're ready if something goofy
So
happens.
there's not one specific guy.
There's a couple. A lot of guys end up, at this stage, a lot of guys end up claiming that they've played quarterback at some point in their career. So a lot of guys like to volunteer.
If a player's coming off of a
I
concussion.
mean, I understand you don't want to tell me. I'm sorry. I understand you don't want to tell me, but there is some.
Yeah, there is. Yes, there's a plan in place.
When a player's coming off of a concussion, is there a conversation or multiple conversations had about like what we can run this upcoming week if he plays, or is it sort of just clear cut? If he goes, everything's on the table.
A lot of different situations and circumstances. Certainly, concussion thing's a different deal. I think when you're clear, obviously there's probably a lot of comfort level in that you're in a good space to play the game, and those things will come up. Obviously, we'll just let the week progress.
We'll do a couple more.
It's so rare when Devontae drops a football. I think we're all shocked by it. How do you handle that from an accountability standpoint? Just, do you just say, he's a human being? I mean, how do you handle it?
We have the best guys in the room possible. The way these guys handle it and understand that, as much as it's a frustrating thing for Smitty. He takes ownership, and everyone rallies behind him. And it's not the one play that decided the game. There's a lot of plays within a game, and certain plays get magnified. But we got such an incredible group that rallies around each other and supports each other and understands that there's a lot of fun opportunities ahead of ourselves.
What has improved about the Dallas defense over this last 5 weeks?
I think they've done a really excellent job. I think obviously they've done a good job up front, pressuring the quarterback, getting after him. Back end's done a nice job of playing some sound football. And obviously their pressure plan has gone up as they've kind of found some consistency in their roster. Obviously they've dealt with a lot of moving pieces throughout the year, which is obviously a challenge for anyone. And you can definitely sense that they've started to build more and more cohesiveness every single week, and they're playing really, really good football right now.
The last offensive play of the first half, was that about the line that you were trying to get to, or did you want to get a little bit more?
Yeah, we're trying to get everything we could. Obviously, understand the circumstance of the fourth down as well. So, obviously, we felt like we at least got to a line that gave us a chance, and and then obviously being timeout and put ourselves in position for that.
Thanks, Kellen.
Okay. All right, thank you guys.